right, Boise's.
Pterodactyls for the win is now following. Thank you, Pterodactyls, for the win.
That's my girl.
Oh shit!
That's
your girl.
Hey,
Oh my God.
okay.
Are we breaking more news?
Wow, quick leaks of the podcast, real quick.
What the? Oh shit! Where'd Jake go?
Yeah, Jake's like, Helen, look at him, he's bloodshot.
Oh,
no.
Okay, let's get this straight, okay, guys? I have naturally red skin, all right? I'm not blushing.
What a
I got
cop-out,
naturally red freaking skin. Okay,
You should see Dom. Watch Dom after those 2 Miller Lights he finishes.
I'm right there with you.
His head's gonna look like a bowling alley, and he's gonna be good.
Why? Because it's all greasy.
Yep, it's gonna be all oiled up.
Jesus Christ.
All right,
Someone spilled red paint down the bowling lane.
oh my God, poor thing. All right, I'm good when you guys are.
I've been good.
Just gonna rip ad read off the bat, and then we're good.
And I'm recording, so.
This episode of Not Another Gaming Podcast is brought to you by Thrive Fantasy. Thrive Fantasy is a daily fantasy sports and esports app that eliminates the countless hours of research usually involved in fantasy sports and focuses only on the top tier athletes and that have the biggest impact on the game. All you have to do is choose 5 out of the 10 available player props or 10 out of 20 if you're playing an NFL game to build your lineup. Each prop is assigned a fantasy value for both the over and under based on how likely it is to hit. Hit the most props, rack up the most points. It's literally that simple. Thrive has awarded over $1.5 million in cash prizes to date. So start raking in the cash today using promo code WGG when you sign up today, and you'll receive an instant $25 match on your deposit of $25 or more. So get started today using promo code WGG via the Thrive Fantasy app or App Store or on Google Play or their website, thrivefantasy.com. Once again, that promo code is WGG. So go download the app and prop up with us today. Now, without further ado, let's enjoy episode 206 of Not Another Gaming Podcast. All right.
That was so hot.
You made it through.
Nice.
I'm like out of breath. I'm like lightheaded. I start seeing stars halfway through.
That honestly might have been the best one he's ever done, too, by the way.
Oh, that was great.
Thank you, Jake. I truly appreciate it. Hello, all, and welcome back to Not Another Gaming Podcast. I am your host this week, Chris P., the tallest and the lankiest. And like always, I am surrounded by some great people on the panel tonight. But first, let's go to the people you're familiar with seeing here, and then we're going to save the best for last with our esteemed guest. First, we have the newest, oldest PC owner, Fuse's DJ of the Year, and a graphic design god, Papa Don. What up, G?
Damn, what it do, baby? Hold on, real quick, just before I get on here. Let me just...
That's my boy right there.
Right.
Hell yeah.
You know, I'm feeling real good. It's Friday Junior, as we like to say around here. Another episode of the podcast, 206 episodes. We're almost 4 years old at this point. I'm just feeling lovely. So excited to do the show once again. Excited to be here with the lads and a very special guest. So yeah, it's your boy Papa Don. What's up?
Nice to see you, Dom. And secondly, we have Phasmophobia. Phasmophobia Ghost's worst enemy. The comeback TST was worried about, and the East Coast most jacked lumberjack, Dr. Bob. What up, pal?
I don't know what TST is, but I am the fucking greatest TFT player to ever grace this game.
Oh, TST. I'm thinking of Team Summertime for some reason. They like announced it today. TFT. Team Fight Tactics.
That's fine. Don't worry. I retired both of those games, and I'm unretiring from Counter-Strike again. I'm back. I'm back on my bullshit. Back on the Counter-Strike bullshit.
Lord forgive me, but it's time to go back to the old me.
Back. Give me the op back. Yeah, I'm doing good. So you said Friday Junior. Today's my Friday because I took tomorrow off because Call of Duty comes out and your boy's going for that world first and the zombies Easter egg. Yeah. So I'm fucking feeling good. I texted you guys earlier. I said, I just got $60 worth of shitty snacks, a bunch of Monsters and Red Bulls. I got a bunch of booze in my fridge. I feel like I'm 14 again.
Wow. I think that was a movie, 14 again.
Yeah, something like that, starring me playing Call of Duty.
Yeah, I mean, in your defense, you looked the same when you were 14.
It's true.
Yeah.
I was 6'2" with a full beard at 14.
17 again by Zac Efron. Great movie. Just
17 again.
We're doing a prequel, 14 again, starring me.
I think you look better. So yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Someone clip that. Look better than Zac Efron. Thank you.
my ass. All right. So you guys already heard the voice. We have the longest neck in the game, the fastest on the gaming news draw, the man that cannot grow facial hair, and the reporter for Esports Talk, Jake Lucky. What's up, G?
Man, thank you guys for having me on. I really do appreciate you guys. I got to say, this lineup, this cast is truly intimidating, and I hope I can hang with y'all.
What do you mean? No, we're just normal ass dudes.
It's a pleasure and an honor to have such a noted chick haver on the podcast. You know, it's really, I mean, this is really something else.
Dude, or as Mike Kent would call him, a top shagger.
Top shagger.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike puts those things out there, and I'm like,
It means you get laid, pretty much.
Yeah, because I'm not aware of the terminology. As a Midwest man, I'm like, a shagger, is that some type of farming machine or?
Wait, so can you confirm it? Are you a top shagger?
I don't want to put that information out there for Mike to have you
leak it on the podcast.
Do you want to leak on the podcast if you have sex or not?
Catch me an hour from now.
All right, cool.
Okay.
All
right.
I think the viewers know.
Okay.
What time is it?
It's pretty obvious.
8:53. All right.
All right, sweet. All right, well, yeah, these are Jake is the guest, and you heard Dr. Bob and Papa Dom, and we are back for episode 206 of the #1 gaming podcast on the internet. No competition, no questions about it. And without further ado, let's get into a little weekend recap.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
All right, so Jake, obviously you're new here. So what the weekend recap is, it's exactly what it sounds like. You're just going to talk about what you did over the weekend. Did you take a couple of refreshments for a ride? Did you get a nice meal? Did you play any video games? I saw you were playing League of Legends at some point on Discord. Was that this weekend? Tell us all about your weekend, Jake.
Okay, so you really do your research, huh? You're creeping on my Discord games.
I do my research, believe me.
Yeah, over the weekend, I almost actually already leaked something. Wow, yikes! This is gonna be interesting.
Hey, welcome to the show, baby.
How long have I been on the show?
Like 8 minutes.
9 minutes and 45 seconds.
Yeah, the best 9 minutes of my life.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Chris has never heard that before.
9 minutes? What am I, a porn star?
Yeah, what are we going to do with the other 8 minutes and 45 seconds? Anyway, good.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Everyone's just going to see me like this the entire time.
It's all right. It's all right. You look glorious.
I'm the same shade as my shirt. But anyway, this past weekend, I was doing what I usually do. Didn't leave Twitter. I might have hung out with someone here and there. Just, actually had some plans. Guys, stop. You're embarrassing me. And then I spent most of the time either in my apartment, which my roommate's been gone for God knows how long. Haven't seen the guy, or the office, which is where I love to spend a lot of my time.
Dude, you must be close to the office, right? Because you're there in record time.
Yeah, just under 15 minutes. It's like, a casual drive.
Yeah. Well, you must be going $120 there because something breaks, you have a video up in 3 minutes. So props to you.
I've been lucky enough to actually be in the office most of the time. So I would say I'm pretty fortunate when it comes to timing like that.
You know what would be kind of elite? Like if you were in the middle of a workout or something, and instead of going to the office, you just rip it off the iPhone.
Dude, I've actually thought about that. Like,
that'd be kind of cool.
We have definitely had moments where like I've either like, had a weekend at home or like somewhere away from the office where I've been like, Pete, that's our camera guy. Hey, what are the odds you put this video together and it's just Jake on the iPhone? Just, hey guys, like
that would be hilarious.
Like just for like a one-off,
That'd be so good. You should definitely sprinkle that in.
I should. And then I work, luckily we have like a workout place outside. And so I work out shirtless, but like we censor that out.
Okay.
Sprinkle that, yeah.
All right. A little bit.
Hey.
Is there any local traffic? Because you might cause some pileups.
I'm not doing it in my car.
I mean, we might as well just go shirtless down the street.
Just working out on the sidewalk, as I usually do.
Dude, people drive by, and this actually, I'll keep this for a little bit. But anything else you do this weekend? Play anything?
No. I'm a loser. I'll play League of Legends aren't we all?
No, yeah. I
mean, kinda.
Yeah. Sorry. That laugh was really shrill. It kind of hurt me. Not gonna. He really means it,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
no, it's
whiskey's good for the throat. I heard. So take another
Yeah,
sip.
yeah. Okay.
The problem is it's because we all relate. That's the
Yo,
problem.
100%.
Someone else say their weekend so I can relate, please.
Yeah, Dom, how was your weekend?
my weekend was great. I went outside a whole lot and hung out with friends. It was a great weekend. So it was my 30th birthday this past Monday, just a couple days ago. So had a great time over the weekend. Obviously, you can't really do a whole lot on a Monday during a fucking global pandemic. So this weekend made the most of it. Friday, I don't really recall. Saturday, had a couple friends over. I'm sorry. Before I did anything, back a couple weeks ago, literally just like 3 weeks ago, good friend from high school reached out to me and said, hey, would you mind marrying me and my wife? So I, did what any good friend would do. And instead of mentioning, well, it's a Saturday before my 30th birthday, I said, yeah, absolutely. I'll be right there. So on the 7th, on that Saturday, I officiated a backyard wedding between one of my good friends from high school and his now wife. So big congrats to them. And then later on that evening, had a couple pals over and had several dozen beers. Had probably the worst hangover I've ever had in my life on Sunday. And was fortunate enough to be graced by Bob and Chris's presence there. There was no less than 400 Miller Lights in my fridge, and now there's about 8. So yeah, I mean, I feel like this is my I think probably my 3rd or 4th year running where the birthday tradition has been people texting me the next day and being like, I've never been more hungover in my fucking life. And it just feels good. When people go that hard for your birthday, it makes you feel good. So all 3 of us, I think, were in really terrible condition come Sunday morning. And so other than that, what I've been playing, downloaded Destiny 2 Beyond Light, which is free with Game Pass. So, not paying money for games. Great thing. Started playing Beyond Light, which is pretty good. Also started playing Fuser, which is fucking amazing. It's probably instantly my favorite music game since the original Rock Band. Real big fan, and can't wait to dive deeper into it. Chris is lucky that we can't figure out how to use multiplayer, because I would have been whooping that ass up down
Mop
the
the
stage.
floor with you. You
Oh
were
my
like fucking
God,
Jason
please.
Aldean and Takali Ray
Please.
Jepsen. Trash. Trash.
Please! Chris was over there bobbing his head, and he was like, Don, please sign my microphone.
I just didn't want you to feel
Please.
bad. You had your headphones on like this, and you were fucking like moving your hand like you were actually scratching a disc. I felt bad.
Oh my God, no, I know.
No, they were actually bangers. Though. I'm gonna give that to him. He threw one track on. It was like Hot in Here mixed with like Temperature by Sean Paul. It was kind of a bang. It was a banger, dude.
Yeah, I was throwing just slappers only, So
Slappers only. I'd subscribe.
yeah, I mean, that's all it is, And we can't stream the game, so you guys are never going to see me play it because we're going to get hit with 400 DMCA strikes in the same video. So yeah, you're just going to have to take my word for it that I'm good at it. So that was my weekend.
Well, hold on.
How do I beat that? Like what? He had that thing rehearsed. I can't put on a freaking marriage every weekend.
I've done this. I've done this 206 times.
But Jake, if you were to officiate a wedding, you got to tell me this: would you sign it off before you say you may kiss the bride by saying "drink your wah, drink your car"? You may kiss the bride. Would you do that?
Yeah. As long as
Okay.
it's not misinterpreted for something weird. Like make sure to drink your wah, or I don't know if that could be misinterpreted at all. But yeah, because I found out earlier this year that caca is Spanish for poopy. Like the
You didn't know that? Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So I was saying, drink your wawa, drink your caca, and people were like,
"Oh yeah, I mean,
shit, yeah."
Dude,
So
Yeah,
I
drink your
changed
caca. Yeah, caca is poop.
I mean, I'm sure people do, but like,
yeah, 100%.
I think that's
Yeah,
probably not what you're advocating.
there's a few videos online about
oh
that.
yeah, I've seen all of them." Bob, how was your weekend?
It was good. I'm pretty sure I streamed a bunch of Rocket. I'm pretty sure we all streamed a bunch of Rocket League on Friday, right? I don't remember anymore. All I remember is I got trashed at fucking Dom's house. I woke up at like 3 p.m. on Saturday or Sunday. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I just know I went there. There was a lot of alcohol. And I was doing my best to just be like, relatively subdued. Didn't happen.
Last one to leave the house. Bob was the last one to leave.
Didn't happen. Just didn't happen. I was trying to be relatively subdued. I got home. I lied down in bed, And I'm like, shit, I fucked up. I drank a little too much tonight. And then I woke up at 3 p.m. the next day. I don't know.
God.
Did I do anything else? I don't fucking know. I don't remember anymore. My brain is mush.
I
Did play Rocket League. Did play Counter-Strike. We're back. Me, Steve, Justin, back on the Counter-Strike grind. And I'm fully sold on old school RuneScape again. I am back. Dude, I can't fucking not play it. I know that you're a fucking RuneScape guy. I played RuneScape 2, not the original one where it's like literal fucking like 2D planes walking through.
Yeah.
And I just found out today that a kid I used to play with got like number 3 on the all-time leaderboards at some point. Guy named Casserole. It's fucking crazy. Just found out today.
Name.
Exactly. Used to play with them back in the day when I was like
kind of a sick
13.
name. Yeah.
Kind of, yeah, low-key.
Low-key, it's a sick name, Casserole.
Dude, I am so hard back on my fucking old school RuneScape bullshit that it's just I can't. I don't know. Like I need to stop every couple of hours or I'll literally lose track of time and it's 6 hours later.
I still watch that game. I think I'm lucky that I was able to get away from it, to be honest. I love watching it though.
I got my original character, Rob_Tro, to like 98, and I gave it to my cousin Chris too, who got it to like 130 or some shit like that. So it's still up there on the top of the leaderboards. And then he got it banned twice, and now he'll never touch it again because it'll get permabanned and he'll lose the entire account. So he has like 6 alt accounts, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna make one. We're gonna see how this goes. And it's going well, but it's also not going well.
I understand that, I think.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I never got into RuneScape. I like watched it the other day, and like literally the guy was just talking as his character was just going, hitting a rock. I'm like, all right, like this is fucking electrifying, dude. I really want to watch it. But it's made like a big comeback from what I've seen. So my weekend was good. Kind of beating a dead horse, hung out with Dom and Bob. Got really drunk to the point where I ordered $30 worth of 7-Eleven on my way home because it was the only thing open. I got like 9 taquitos, like a Gatorade, Sour Patch Kids. I just balled out at 7-Eleven. Oh
my God.
Didn't show up until like 2:30 a.m. So I had to stay up. I was just like on my bed, shirt off, skinny fat stomach out.
I am shocked you don't have an ulcer right now.
Dude, I'm dying by the day. I know this. Like, I'm not in good shape. I'm not. It is what it is. But with a taquitos fire, absolutely. Would I do it again? Yes, but I would actually go there instead because $30 is kind of steep.
Yeah, at that point,
fuck it, Dom, they were phenomenal. I got a cool blue Gatorade to wash it down. I mean,
legendary.
I was living, dude. I think I lit my candle too at like 3 a.m. and I just vibed out.
Played some Shania Twain or something, just kind of vibed.
No, I think I watched Golden Buzzer videos. I think I was like sad drunk.
Did the Gatorade did the Gatorade did it have like a sucky cap? Those are the ones.
Wait, how does it go? Can you show that?
You go.
No, so it wasn't.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, no. All right, so the like sports bottles, whatever they're called, they have like the nipple on top. Those are elite Gatorade. They didn't have them. I just got like the fat one. But those are elite. They taste so much better out of it. It's like I don't understand how it works.
It's like you're a kid again.
Yeah, it was truly phenomenal. But I've been playing Apex just because season 7 came out, so I've just been fucking around with that, just trying to get through the limbo period of Warzone, Modern Warfare, and Cold War, which luckily comes out tomorrow. So now I have a game to play. I love when there's a new game and you can kind of like start off with everyone else and build your way up. Granted, time zones exist and all that good stuff, but I'm excited to get on there. So that was my weekend. I'm glad you guys all had a phenomenal weekend. Jake, I'm glad that you had a extravagant weekend. Really got some vitamin C in you. I mean, I'm truly, truly happy. So let's get in the meat and potatoes of the show. The reason why we're all here tonight. Jake, Lucky. So, Jake. So I've done my research on you. And besides finding out that you can't grow facial hair, which I was kind of stunned by. I thought you were just shaving every day. I learned a little bit of your backstory, so I like to think. But I'll let you say it because I don't want to put words in your mouth. Where did you make your initial break-in esports?
So I would say video games in general was the RuneScape start. So I've been making videos, but I think technically since like 2011.
Well, you were RS Giving, right? Was that you?
Yeah, legit RS Giving was my initial name and channel name, and was just trying to do RuneScape videos, and that was kind of a thing throughout high school. I actually was able to stream RuneScape for a part-time job and run a YouTube channel during high school. But you guys know high school jobs, right? You can get, if you can make a decent amount of money and find a few donators here and there who are very generous. It's like, hey, mom, dad, made a couple $100 this summer, so
Yeah.
good enough.
No question.
And then towards the tail end of, I believe, high school, that kind of wasn't a thing. Going into college, I was trying new things on YouTube. At one point, I was trying to do like college vlogs. Nothing really took off. And it wasn't until my junior year of college that I started making CSGO videos and started a channel, CSGO News. And so that was like my first kind of peek into esports, but had no idea what esports were even at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess it was probably my senior year of college, so not that too far into CSGO News. I was obviously a senior then, so job time, got to try and apply and got rejected by countless companies, but had to try and figure out what I was going to do. And so it was around, sometime senior year where I was like, okay, what can I do to keep on making videos of some sort? And I think it's pretty lucky. I know you guys know there's at least a couple sites out there to find esports and gaming jobs. And I stumbled across a job for Esports Talk. I applied, and my resume was pretty much my YouTube channel, CSGO News.
Yeah. So that's one thing I feel like a lot of people have mixed up. And let me preface this by saying, obviously, there's nothing wrong with this. But for the longest time, I thought you owned Esports Talk. I thought that was you. I didn't realize it was bigger. Like, I know Nick and Zan, I believe it's pronounced. Like, I watched them on your the videos as well. But I didn't realize that it was an actual formed company. I thought it was you and like you built it out. So kind of how was it going from making your own? Because when you were making your own, you did good. To say how it is. I mean, you said now that, like, when I listened to something in the past where I did my research on you, you said that it wasn't a lot, but you grew like 80K in a year, which is a lot of fucking subscribers for YouTube. There's a lot of people that put that time in, but how was it going from an independent creator to going under a company? Is it something that you knew you were going to get free reign to do what you want?
Yeah, that's a really good question, but also a pretty loaded question. I think at the time I wasn't really sure what to expect. Definitely grew pretty fast in the CSGO scene and was very lucky to do so. And I was doing pretty well in college because I was also streaming part-time on top of YouTube. I would say YouTube alone, I just, I couldn't make it. I was very lucky to have a community, an even smaller community who watched my streams, and they were just so fun and so generous. And so that's why it was more sustainable in college, and they helped me out a lot. Once I graduated, though, I saw the kind of like, can I really sustain this for a longer period of time? So that's why I ended up applying. And again, I don't take offense to what you guys say at all. Like, it's definitely a common misconception that I don't own anything of Esports Talk. I joined just over 2 years ago. And it's been a crazy ride, obviously, but a lot of people don't know the backstory that I just told, but also the fact that, I've been with Esports Talk for over 2 years now. It wasn't just this past year. We've spent a lot of time trying to figure out like what the heck to do in this space. But to your last question as well, I definitely had pretty much complete free reign, and that is something I definitely probably take for granted at times. Pretty much whatever I want to do or talk about, I'm allowed to, and it's been that way from the very start.
That's awesome. Cool. And I feel like I can compare that to like being a chef, in my opinion, where like if you work at this corporate franchise chain restaurant, for the sake of the story, because I used to work there and I walked out the back door, Buffalo Wild Wings. So like when you're there,
fuck Buffalo Wild Wings.
Legit. Hey, Rich, if you're listening to this, I'm glad I walked out the back door. Look at me now. I have a video game podcast. But when you work at a place like that, you're cooking, but this is how you have to make it, and you have no creativity to kind of do what you want. But if you work at a private restaurant, chefs kind of have the ability to experiment and do different things, where I feel like that's when people kind of flourish, where they're able to tap into their creative side and not just the normal, like, do this, do that, the monotonous back-to-back stuff. So I think that's really cool within a company. Obviously, Esports Talk is doing really good things. You've been doing it for 2 years, but I feel like this past year is when I really started seeing the pickup. I guess like you were getting talked about on a lot of places. I was seeing you pop up left and right. So props to you on doing that. I think that's really cool. And one thing I want to ask you, that notepad that you used to put in the bottom of your monitor when you would get denied from jobs. I think we're the same way. I think I could speak for all three of us. That put a little chip on your shoulder, right? Like you denied me. Watch what I do. Was it like motivation?
Yeah, but I think, and I think a lot of people in this space, whether they've been discovered or not yet, have that same kind of chip. And I don't know if I would, I'm not necessarily very bitter. I just kind of wanted to prove somebody wrong, not necessarily anyone in particular, but I do still have a list of a bunch of companies because I had a major in marketing and management. So I was kind of expected to go into the business world and do, what you're expected to do with a college degree. Nothing wrong with that at all. And luckily enough, I had a family who was very open to the chance of me taking it over here. But yeah, I do have a list of so many companies that don't even give you any shot. Like most of the places won't even give you an email back. And you kind of just feel, so yeah.
Our list is growing by the fucking day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I would call it a chip, but yeah, certainly that's a great source of motivation.
Yeah, 100%. And like obviously, like I said, we could like Dom and Bob could also speak on it too. I think our number one motivator is watch us. That's the thing. Like if you truly believe in what you're doing, using that as kind of the fire under your ass, it's what wakes me up every day. It's like, okay, I got to get up at X time. I got to get up. I got to get this out before someone else. I can't fucking beat you. I'll tell you that. But I beat a lot of big companies. Like when it comes to tweet stuff, you're very good. And I'm not sucking your dick because you're right in front of me. You're very good.
Oh, I was about to suck yours. I was.
We all suck each other's dicks tonight.
Man.
I wasn't. I didn't. I thought you were actually speaking of yourself because, like, I've obviously grown to knowing you guys probably over the past few months, maybe several months as well. But like, not to stroke you too much, but like, I get excited when I see y'all, especially Chris, because I see your post most. When you beat Dex to a post, and I love Dex. I love the boys over there. But I love competition too. So it's nice seeing people that have that same sort of vision. Like we're in somewhat of the same market, right? Like we're looking for the same clips. We're looking for the same topics. So when I see you guys post something that I want to talk about, I'm like, frick yeah. Like I didn't find that first. So that's exciting to me.
Yeah. And one thing you do very well is you properly credit. Not that like it's like any of like, so in my opinion, if someone posts something first and you report on it, if it's like already out there, then so be it. Yeah. I think within the industry we're at now, a lot of bigger companies, and I can't really like pick any out, but like think of your typical video game / esports coverage website. I feel like crediting has
hold on. The rug. Before you say esports or general gaming company, also every other major fucking media company that wants to dip their toes into video games because it's the flavor of the month for them, and their fucking stockholders are like, it's $1 trillion industry now. Let's see what we can do with it. And they don't like take it seriously. So again, before I just wanted to throw that in there before you kept going, Chris.
Yeah, no, and that's pretty much what I meant, right? And that's something I wanted to bring up to all you guys as well. But I appreciate you throwing us in the videos. Obviously, we're small fish in the pond, but we work hard. We're with three dudes, and we do what we can. And we believe in the industry, which is what I feel like it needs more, which is a perfect segue for what I want to say is, how do you feel about bigger organizations tapping into the esports industry by only seeing the dollar signs? They see the eyeballs and like, I have to be there. Let's just try, without actually knowing what they're talking about.
That's a really tough one because obviously it's very subjective. But I think we've seen a case-by-case basis of some things being very, very different. When it comes to, I guess, most recently, we've seen a lot of sports stars jump in. And hey, I mean, if a bunch of these sports stars are just going to throw money at it and they want it to be kind of just like a fun side hobby, they don't expect anything out of it. Hey, like that doesn't hurt us. If it's a bigger company doing that, kind of just throwing money at it, I don't know. You kind of got to see how it rolls out. It's very, very subjective. And I only say that because I think David Beckham with Guild Esports is a very interesting one, right?
Very.
Like it's weird because at first I'm like, oh my God, you're money done. Like you're raising a bunch of money, you're throwing it in the wind. We'll see what happens and hope it works out, right? You're guaranteeing what? D-backs 20 million over 5 years. So it's like, no chance. But then you see them progress, and at the very least, they are bringing more eyes to esports and gaming. We got no guarantee it's going to work, right? But for the moment, I'm like, heck yeah, like you've swayed my opinion. And there are probably some people out there or big money spenders that have certainly not swayed my opinion that I'm not going to name. But trust me, that there's definitely people on both
Give it
sides.
another 45. Give it another 45.
Another 45.
Maybe a couple more sips of that whiskey.
Jake's going to be singing like a bird in an hour.
Oh, I'm feeling too chill in front of you boys.
So
Hey, but that's what we go for. That's what we like to have when we have guests on. We want people to be fucking comfortable when we talk with them, and that's like something that we, as a brand, we started out with day one. It was, we want to be the people that you just fucking sit down, you shoot the shit with, you have a couple drinks, and you talk about video games, and that was what it was from the jump. And that's what we like. We like to hear that you're saying, fuck it, I'm comfortable with you guys. Let's go. Give me 45 minutes. I'll spill the beans.
I will say this really quickly. I wish people that threw money at esports and gaming at least spent enough time to maybe throw it towards the people like you guys, or the people even like me, right? Like the people that really truly care. And that's not to, again, feel like we're stroking everyone here, but like there's plenty of people like me and like you guys out there, and just talking to you guys for this shorter period of time, and I've talked to quite a few people out there that have that love and have that, that real dedication. Like if someone gave you guys a check, I know what effort you guys would put in. And I feel like there are people that have thrown money.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Truly,
Clearly at figures that don't have that same drive, and it will not work, because if the passion is not there, it's not going to last.
100%. You can't fake the funk, man. It's literally like, when you have somebody who's like an influencer who automatically now, or like who like all of a sudden is streaming games, or like somebody who was already an influencer before who now is just like getting notoriety because like they just discovered that old Pokemon cards are worth money, and all of a sudden this is like, there's a much different atmosphere and like kind of climate there, where I think the folks who are really throwing money at certain personalities or certain brands, or like investing in certain spaces, is just because that's what's going to get them the most amount of clicks. Not necessarily that's what's going to be the best substance of material. That's not what's going to be the most genuine material. And granted, they might get an initial bump in followers over that from, a couple thousand people who already, engage with their content, have always been like, oh, why don't you cover gaming? But then they realize that it's dog shit, and you start to erode those viewers. You start to erode those followers, because they're going to be like, I can't rely on this for gaming coverage. I can't rely on these people to actually, give me like a genuine opinion or like a genuine perspective on what's going on in the gaming world. So I guess I'll just go back to this website or that website. So I completely agree. I mean, I think that, for the folks out there that are really, putting time in and putting work in and really honing their craft and have this genuine love of the game, and just like we were talking about, that kind of like chip on your shoulder to get better and to kind of like beat somebody else to the punch, those are the folks that I think need that shot. They just need that call. Like if they got that call, they got that shot to make a career out of this, that they would like outwork every other fucking body in the room. And that's how I feel about everybody on this call. That's how I feel about Doug, who was just on here last week. The handful of folks that we've had on here who have tried their hand at content creation, and some have been able to take it further than others, and we tend to attract like-minded folks who are all kind of along that same line. So yeah, I totally 100% agree.
Yeah. And I think there's a line to draw a little bit with like starting an esports org and then starting coverage, because starting an org, money goes a long way. In my opinion, you can buy good talent, and you can put people in these leagues. If you're a notable name, they want to see your name within a league. But when it comes to coverage, there's no way to fake out people who know an industry like the back of their hand. It's like taking guitar lessons from someone who's like never picked up a guitar before. Like you'll be able to see through it, but like there's people that hide it very well. But on the contrary, there's people that you literally see through them so easily. And it's just like, okay.
Like there are country artists that do very well and can't play the guitar for crap, and they fake it,
Yeah.
But they go a long way. I don't know if that works I don't know if that works in this scene. I just don't know. I think with how many freaking stringents you have to know and talk about, and when you put yourself out there, I don't think you can fake it in this scene.
No, because you'll get called out so easily. 100%. That's the thing. Like video games as a whole, say it how it is, it's a very toxic community for the most part. People are all about like responding right under your tweet, to get more engagement by saying something fucked up. Like, and like those are the type of people that are going to call you out on your bullshit off the rip. And I feel like with what we do, it's tough to fake it, because if one person comes along and debunks what you're saying, your credibility goes down a notch. And there's only so many notches you can go down before people stop believing what you're saying. So with me, for instance, and I'm sure Jay can attest to this as well, sometimes news comes out that's not confirmed. Perfect. Hector reacquiring Optic. And it came out yesterday, and people were already reporting it was coming in. I believe like Esports Observer picked it up, Dexerto picked it up. And I remember sitting there looking at it, and Jake tweeted exactly what I was thinking. He goes, I'm going to wait for the GOAT to like say it himself. And that's how I want to know the facts on certain things. Granted, do I jump the gun on some things? Absolutely. I mean, we all do. It's just how it is. Like, you feel like you have to get this out, and you put it out and you realize that your facts weren't right. And that's just kind of how it goes.
There's also a huge problem with it where, like you're saying, like internet fucking notoriety comes from just bringing other people down at this point. Like, you could post something that's 95% true, and that 5% that's not true, someone's going to be sitting there like, you know what, that wasn't actually correct.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I was one of the first people to break the WoW Classic hacking going on when it launched, and I posted that, and immediately people were like, oh yeah, UK Drillers isn't actually UK based. And I'm like, okay, everything else I just put in this fucking article is true. Do you like, is that something that you needed to say?
People are morons.
That is so true. That is so true. And in this space, it's honestly terrifying, because if you write or if you make videos, there's so much to say, and having every single bit of it be true and correct and factual,
it's impossible.
And just to your point, people nitpick, and hey, I've nitpicked too, so I understand it. But yeah, some people take it to an extreme. It is very, very scary. And to Chris's point too, yeah, those notches, they do matter, and that is just like, it is terrifying to me.
Yeah,
I genuinely think it's a matter of time before all of these like pop up major media conglomerates that come forward saying like, hey, we're going to start covering gaming now. Like Chris was saying, like, if you can't be on top of your news, if you can't be, accurate with what you're portraying. Also, I've said this 100 fucking times. You need to have a genuine voice, and you need to be genuine with what you're putting forward. If you don't have that voice that separates you from everybody else, it's generic regurgitation. It's just vomiting back forward what everybody else is saying. If you don't have that, people are going to see it for a couple of months, and it's going to be like, cool.
That's so true.
I'm going to go do something else. Like, why would I re-listen to something that somebody else said for the 6th time just on a different site or a different podcast or a different like vlog or some shit like that? Why would I listen to the same thing over and over again? Be different. Be unique in your zone. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I think it's just a matter of time before like it starts to even itself back out again.
I agree. Jake, what you said?
I was hopefully the same thing. Like, I think in this scene as well, you have to be multifaceted. I cannot imagine nowadays, with everyone trying to do everything, how you make it into the scene by only writing. Like, you have to do social media. Like, if you want to do a podcast on the side, you got to do something. To your guys' points, like, to really, your writing might be similar to someone else's. At the end of the day, then it comes down to a crapshoot of who can get it out first. But if you can give yourself a personality, right? If they've seen your podcast, they're going to go for your articles. If it's the same information as someone else, if they like you more, they want to hear you, even if you're saying similar things. So like, I really think I'm so lucky, and I think we're lucky to be where we are, because I think it's only going to get more competitive. It's very exciting, but I'm very interested to see like what's next, right? We've seen articles. We've seen videos, we've seen podcasts, we'll see live streams. We see Venn trying to do 24/7 news. That's risky. What's next, right? And what's actually going to hit? Because I think articles and videos are your mainstream, right? What's really, really next? Because I don't think podcasts for gaming are unfortunately there yet. I think they're underappreciated with all the knowledge they have in them.
Yeah. And I think that comes down to more of the industry not being fully accepted yet amongst like everyone. Everyone that's in esports, in my opinion, is trying to climb up and just prove that like this is something. And like it's infuriating when people is like, oh, they're just video games. Like, no, do you see the market? Do you see how much this is worth? Like, and what you were saying too, that's why that was a question I was going to ask you too. You realize that time is of the essence with news. News gets drowned out. Like its shelf life is like an hour.
Yep.
So if you don't get it out, like it's old news at that point, which is why like I'm constantly looking at Twitter and stuff like that. But say a billion people, for the sake of sorry, 10 people put it out at 9:28 on the dot. The only thing you can really rely on is people that relate to you, I guess, where like that's why people have to put faces to the brand. So for instance, there's a lot of like websites out there that strictly write their blogs and that's it. There's no video content, there's no personality. So it's like, okay, they're just words behind a face. But with you, for instance, Shake, it's like, okay, like this guy is funny. Like I know what he looks like. I know that he yells "suck my balls" after the video sometimes. Like I'll get a nice little chuckle in, but like people gravitate towards relatable people, personable people. And if you're gonna get your news from anywhere, I feel like you want to go to someone that you'll enjoy watching and feel like you can kind of see a little of yourself in. I don't know if that's like too much of a tangent, but that's just kind of where my brain goes.
That makes sense. I think it's a double-edged sword, honestly, because I hope that I'll see people like me with other outlets, and I'm curious how their rise will be, and if people take to them better than they take to me. Because I think the double-edged part of it is I get to add my personality. I get to add like whatever I want to talk about. I think half the people that click on videos want to see the comment section. Like they don't, they can put me in the background. I don't care. They can hate on me in the comments. They can I think that's a great place to see a couple hundred people that hopefully have your same opinions that you want to type out. And that can be a kind of an addicting thing for videos as well as the personality. The double edge being, if you don't like me, you're never going to watch me.
True. Very true.
That's fair. And I say that all the fucking time. I think I've tweeted this like 6 times in the past month. We aren't for everybody, and we understand that. But the people that we are for, we're fucking here for you.
Yeah, like, ride or die for those people. 100%.
And this was something that I was going to ask you. I saw the tweet earlier today about like 86 Jake Luckies being funded by $500,000, and I sent it immediately to them because I was like, it makes so much fucking sense. But if you were just starting right now, would you rather that? Would you rather to just go strictly independent and just build it up yourself? Or would you want somebody to come forward and be like, hey, I see what you've been doing for the past, X amount of time. Here's that $500K investment. Let's see what you could do now. Because not for nothing, we've been doing this for 4 years. We've been doing it for the love of the fucking game. And we've shopped around before. And it would be cool if somebody dropped 500 fucking K on us, but we're strictly independent until that ever happens. And independent to the sense that we're building our own studio within the next couple of months. We're going to do that. We're doing this shit ourselves. We're going to keep doing this shit ourselves. But like, what would you, if you started fresh, what would you rather do? Build it up yourself, or just like, maybe that happens? Maybe you're one of those 86 Jake Luckies.
I'm really glad you asked that, because I was going to ask you guys what you think about startups coming into the scene or newcomers coming. Like, oftentimes you're not going to get the big check, but I feel like we see either or. We see the Vens who are dropping gigantic money on celebrity and star figures and see if they can do it. Or I think we have the Dexertos and the other people that offer decent wages, but you're going to have to grind. Like, you're not going to be here permanently. Right. You got to earn your keep.
Say another name you're thinking of. Say another name that's in your head right now.
What do you want me to say?
I feel like we were on the same path, but continue. We'll revisit.
Okay, we'll revisit. But yeah, kind of off the stem of that, of like there's either or in that sense. And I think for me personally, I've told you guys I'm super lucky. I personally, seeing how long it took me to get where I'm at, I don't think financially I would be here right now if I had to go 2.5 years after graduation, like with that doubt. Now, I would say ad revenue probably got decent in the past year. So what, 1.5 years trying to convince my parents that I'm making, but again, I don't know. Like if like, you never know, right? It's the time you strike. I could have gone independent 1.5 years ago and maybe blown up, maybe not. So that's a really good question. And I think for me personally, I would like to do it again the way I've done it, maybe with a bit of ownership, if that's possible.
Yeah.
So where
I
I'm
don't
at,
need,
no,
I don't need big checks. I don't need big checks. Like I like to work. I like to really. I'm not making big money.
Like to work.
Like I mean, obviously you guys are a different kind of grind, right? You work an actual job. Luckily enough, my job is this, so I'm going to make like I am blessed. I'm lucky. If you guys were in my shoes, you'd be doing the same. I know you guys be doing the same exact thing I am, but you guys are doing even extra. So I have so much respect for that. So for me personally, I don't think I would want that big check in front of me. I think so. I guess if the only two options are a big check or build it yourself, I want to build it myself.
I like that. So where I'm at on the whole thing is, and it kind of trickles into the whole big time media companies trickling into the esports space. I feel like if we got the opportunity to get that paycheck, which is enough to live, I'm not talking that 500K paycheck. I'm talking like our salary now, enough that we can live comfortably and do this full time. I know for a fact that we would be able to build this into a powerhouse. But
I would cut my salary in half to do this full.
Oh yeah, no, as would I. As long as I could pay my bills and like do this, I would 100% do that. But the thing is, when it comes to esports investments and gaming investments from companies that do not cover it currently, they're not covering it now because they don't know a fucking thing about it, and it's a scary investment because they don't know what they're getting into. Yeah. So with that being said, when it comes to these companies investing, I think they have to invest in, and like maybe I'm biased by thinking this, but I feel like they have to invest in people like us, where like they haven't made it yet. And like we have a little platform that there might be something here. They've already built something, and let's see how high we can take it.
I think it's obviously complicated. It's it's a kind of a per situation dependent upon that, but I would not disagree with you. I think that's where the conversation was going. Is there a middle ground between what we've talked about with the big companies and the ones that kind of want to, like, is it possible in this day and age to do a Ven, to go from a freaking scratch to a big, like a big corporation, but can you do that without Ven money? Like, is that freaking possible?
No.
I don't know. So like, for me, I would love to think about and again, these business minds probably think completely differently than we do. I would love to see Ven cut people like you a check and then maybe attach, give you someone else.
Ven, if you're listening to this, feel free to cut the check. Feel free to just pull up the Brinks truck.
Cut the check, Ven. Cut the check.
I mean, hey, we can compare viewership to Ven if we really want to get down to the nitty gritty. I would love to know how they're feeling about that investment. And I'm not saying it's good or bad. I love some of the shows they put on and production they put on, but it's certainly interesting outside looking in to see what they have done compared to what's already existing.
Yeah.
Like, can you compare it to Mixer in that sense, where they threw the bag at like Ninja and Shroud, hoping that viewership went with them?
Yeah, but even then, people, like, I'm sure you guys know it, but some people forget, like, Mixer was around for quite a bit of time, right?
Yeah,
it was Beam beforehand, right?
Beam.
But it was around for what, I want to say a couple of years. No.
Yeah, definitely was.
Well, Beam got bought out by Microsoft, and then I think in that acquisition period, they changed the branding from Beam to Mixer.
Yeah, and then so like it was obviously around. They were like, "Yo, last ditch effort. Let's get some big wigs." Like, and again, maybe this is me just doing a lack of research. Can someone name someone who has done that kind of tactic and it's actually worked out?
No, not really.
So,
I mean,
I don't think so.
YouTube, I guess, but I think that's a whole different beast. I think Fwiz does great things over there, where like I guess you can throw like Courage into the mix, but he was already doing great things.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, Among Us throws a wrench in YouTube streamers too.
Yeah.
But dude, we can't even.
Among Us is crushing, dude. Like, look at the rise of Corpse Husband.
Dude, what the? That's not. I can't even. I'm almost. I don't think I would want that. How do you handle that? I don't have.
Same thing that like happened to Dizzy. He got too big too quick, and like he
was on an extended break. It's like I can't imagine being a guy like Corpse waking up to that.
So. Just like walking this back a little bit to the conversation about like comp and like throwing money around and shit like that. I respectfully disagree with the like just give me the livable wage, just give me the money I need. Like if I can match my salary now, like I would be happy with it. Granted, salary I'm making right now, I would be perfectly happy to write about video games or talk about video games online for that. But I don't think that we need to be humble or need to be like reserved about how much money we would deserve if we were actually offering a new, entertaining, fresh voice to the space. So, like, in my opinion, if somebody were to walk out of the blue tomorrow and say, we want to bring you guys on board, and I'm going to offer you $45K. That's significantly less than what I'm making right now. Significantly less. And but wouldn't be able to do it. I'd do it part-time for $45K, 100%. But I think that this is just as big. If we're gonna talk apples to apples, if we're gonna talk about your, let's say who's Jake, like in terms of like sports commentary, regular sports commentary. If you had to compare Esports Talk in scale to like a traditional sports commentary channel, or like think about like your independent fantasy football consultants, like your bloggers that like have their own following and have their own advertisers who talk about sports. Like those people are probably making a decent amount of coin, and they're getting picked up by your ESPNs. They're getting picked up by sports outlets, even like online only, your Bleacher Reports, your SB Nations, and they're getting paid pretty well from what I understand. I don't think that in the gaming space that there needs to be any more humbleness. There doesn't need to be any more kind of reservedness, because when we're talking about a multi-billion-dollar industry, that money's got to go somewhere, and it can't all just go to the commentators. It can't all just go to the athletes. It can't all just go to the set pieces. Your half-hour-long opening ceremonies at the League Worlds. Like, this is going to need to trickle into the entertainers, the people who are covering it, the people who are bringing this to the forefront. And this is something that has just been, as far as I'm aware, and as far as I'm willing to admit, like, esports would not be what it is without the grassroots people who have been covering it for fucking years. Since before Rick Fox threw the bag and started Echo Fox, who was like the first big sports guy that I can think of who started an esports team. And before Bob Kraft bought Boston Uprising, before everybody and their mother had an esports team, there were grassroots channels and commentators and personalities and people who were on social media platforms that weren't designed to talk about video games who made this what it is today. Golden Boy wasn't always on TV with the fucking Rock commentating, with the Titan games. Like, you have people who were in like the OG Halo scene who are now kind of transitioning into, a larger, broader esports audience. And those are the people who need to be promoting this too. They need to be saying, listen, I'm making a decent amount of money now. I'm on, this is like, where's that level of influence? Like these people who are the big decision makers now, even Nade Shot, who, I watched, I feel like it was a ESPN or it was a different outlets like retrospective on where he came from in the scene. Like, I want to see him, and he's doing this in part with 100 Thieves and like even with the Mob. Like, I want to see him put on younger, kind of like grassroots, not even necessarily younger, but smaller content creators who are trying to achieve that vision, that he was so fortunate to have earned for himself. I want to see everybody who's kind of come up that way feed that back into that baseline, so that way we don't have to come like hat in hand and say like, I'd take that for a salary to write about video games or to talk about video games, because I think that we deserve it. And I think that your big content creators that are out there, even your smaller ones, should get paid more to do what they're doing. I feel like it is tough. It's tough, but it shouldn't have to be, is what I'm saying.
No, I know, but like a lot of orgs aren't profitable. That's the thing. Oh, Jake with a shot? I'll take a couple gulps.
Sorry, guys. I just I've only done 2 podcasts ever, but when I enjoy them, I take a shot. So
hey,
wait.
Yeah,
I just want to say
it was funny. Those
That
really
was
funny.
Oh, those guys are as chill as you guys. I love this kind of stuff, and I love getting into this kind of detail. And I loved what you said there. I think we're going to see that in the next 4 to 5 years. Hopefully, the nade shots, the hexes, the Hastros.
Yep.
Like, to your point, like, not to say they have made it to the eclipse or the climax they want to be at. They want to be bigger, right? They want to keep on growing. But I love the way you phrase that. Like, if they want this to go on beyond themselves, at some point, giving back to at least the esports side of things, which of course they're all doing. Don't get me wrong, right? Like, the fact that NRG and all these organizations are signing out the wazoo, but to your point, it's a lot of players. It's 100 Thieves doing great for content, merchant apparel. I don't mean to offend any of these organizations. Like, we are slowly getting there. We are trying to build up the employee bases of all these esports organizations. But I think more to your point, like, gaming is doing amazing. Esports, that's tentative right now, right? Like, gaming has a future, 100%. Like, it'll be there. Esports is no guarantee. It's just
the only guarantee is the life length of that game that's being played. Essentially,
I think
any game that comes out, like competitive Call of Duty, that current game for Call of Duty, that longevity lasts for 12 months, and then a new Call of Duty comes out. And then there's a whole. I understand that the professional scene still transfers over, but it's still a brand new game. Like, one player from Black Ops 3, going into whatever the fuck Call of Duty came after that. I don't remember, because I didn't give a shit about Call of Duty after Black Ops 2, and I didn't give a shit until tomorrow or fucking 3 hours from now. But like, if a player just didn't transition well between those games, that's not a guarantee. Just because that time frame is only 12 months.
I think we're in a fucked up time too, obviously, with like COVID going around, where obviously there's been an uptick in viewership when it comes to esports. And I don't see a lot of companies making a move during this. Like, granted, like, they're strapped on money and it's the future, you don't know. But like, seeing this big uptick, I feel like a lot of companies that don't know it necessarily are looking inside, like, all right, well, like, there was no traditional sports on for X amount of months, so people were just watching esports. But in my eyes, that shows something where, like, people are putting it, like, granted, it's second or third option, but people are going from watching traditional sports to esports now. And I think a lot of it falls into certain esports that are viewer friendly. I guess we've talked about this before. I think CS:GO is a very viewer friendly game. It's literally kill someone, defuse a bomb, or plant the bomb. That's like what it is. 5v5. Do what you got to do. But then, like, it gets a little more complicated when it comes to like Overwatch or League of Legends. If you don't know League of Legends and you watch League of Legends, you have zero idea what's going on. And like, Valorant's kind of in the middle now, where like, I feel like there is still a niche, however you pronounce that, audience in esports.
Niche.
Do I think niche? Yes, niche.
That's not it.
Do I think we're where we have to be when it comes to the esports industry? No. Do I think we're in the right direction? Absolutely. I think that people that don't realize kind of where it's going, the trajectory of it right now, they're going to be looking in a couple of years, be like, holy fuck, why didn't we get involved?
Yeah, and I guess it's kind of figuring out what sticks, right? And so this is like a lackluster reference, but you think, how long did it take for a SportsCenter or ESPN to take off? How long did it take those industries to get the kind of viewership and coverage? Now, I think we're in a time where gaming's growing vastly faster than traditional sports were, but we're not anywhere close to what those are. And so, it's kind of just, I think we're in that, like you said, we're in that weird time. I was listening to Hex and Andy Miller. They talk about this in the recent NRG Duo podcast. And Hex is like, technically, gaming's been around for 20 something years, but technically esports has been around for little over a decade. Like we're so young when you really compare esports to traditional sports. And so I think we're in that weird time of like finding out what sticks, what people want to watch. And we are still in, like, there's an entire generation growing up right now. Like, that'll be a future audience. Those are future players. Those are future content creators. And so I think we have a big surge ahead of us. It's what we can make and what sticks as that grows and as those people grow up that are going to be our next generation of audience.
Yeah, which brings me back to your point, which is kind of spot on when you say that, where like more people throwing money into the industry is a good thing. It's a good thing to grow it more. Granted, is a competition? Yes, absolutely. but like it's helping the industry as a whole grow,
the
which
game.
benefits everyone.
Grow the game.
At the end of everything.
Esports has grown faster in the last 10 years than like United States soccer has. It's grown faster in the last.
Hey, they were saying lacrosse was going to be the next fucking
grown
giant
faster
sport
yeah.
in the U.S.
No, it was and they were wrong. It was fucking Fortnite. That grew faster than lacrosse did. Esports has grown faster than domestic soccer. Has grown faster in the last 5 years than Major League Baseball. I mean, and I'm just saying this. I'm saying this off the top of my head, and I guarantee that there are numbers to support it. And I would be shocked if there weren't. But we are in a time now where, and just like you were saying, Jake, like we still don't know yet if like they can sustain this level of success. Like gaming isn't going anywhere. Esports is not. It's been around too long to be like a passing wave. It's definitely going to happen. But if this can be a truly sustainable, profitable business that these these sports executives that are dumping millions and millions of dollars and are going to see a long-term 5, 10, 15, 25 year ROI on remains to be seen. You have your franchises, your major sports franchises that have been around for 40, 50, 60 years, and like they're granted profitable multi-billion dollar franchises, and like are we going to see the SF Shock or even the Optic Chicago or LA Thieves become that level of profitability? Maybe. We'll see. I think that what it comes down to is accessibility, which is, I mean, everybody's got the internet. Everybody has the ability to watch these events happen. You don't have to pay out the ass for cable to watch esports. Everybody if you have an internet connection or a cell phone, you can watch esports. You don't have to pay local sports coverage fees, to watch this shit with commercials. You can watch it on Twitch. Granted, you're going to get ads every fucking 15 minutes.
Still with commercials, yep.
But there are less ads than when you watch, when you're watching regular traditional sports. You have esports events that are quote unquote appointment television. I woke up at fucking 5:30 in the morning to get set up and to watch League Worlds, a game that I know next to nothing about, and it was one of the most electrifying sports experiences I've ever had in my life. I was sitting in this chair.
Dude, I woke up early to watch C9, the new Colossus, get stomped today. Okay? That's what I got to fucking watch today.
Love you, Henry.
Yeah, I love you, but please don't fucking let me down like that.
Like we were at fucking DreamHack Montreal 4 years ago, which is wild to think that was 4 years ago at this point.
So long ago.
And we watched the I think it was like the East Coast. They restructured it for now, but it was like the Hearthstone like Spring Grand Prix finals or whatever. And once the crowd realized that this dude had exactly the cards that he needed in his hand, it was like he just needs to draw this one card, and he had it. People are kicking over their chairs, flipping over. They're making out with each other in the middle of this venue in broad daylight in Montreal. It's not like this primetime Twilight game.
I watched one guy.
I could have swore they were in the middle. They were fucking.
What?
I watched a single guy take out a stick of deodorant and put it on. Okay.
They were
I watch a guy apply deodorant in the middle of DreamHack, like he didn't apply before he got there.
Hey,
That's kind of legit.
It happens to the best of us.
You walk in, you swing your arms, it smells like an Italian sub. You're like, oh Lord, I'm gonna throw a little.
Yeah, but no. You gotta wait. You gotta wait until they hit that card off the draw, and then you throw your arms up, and you're like, shit. Everyone else is celebrating. Hold on.
It's a perfect time. You're like, like throw it on. All right, so.
But anyway, yeah. I mean, the point is like that we've come so far, but we still have so far to go. And in order to make this what it should be, we need those guys who have, I mean, by all definitions, your hexes and your nade shots that have experienced and built and earned like the American dream for themselves. We need them to start cultivating that next generation. Now that Optic is back in Hex's hands, it seems like Nadeshot has the bandwidth to do whatever he needs to do with 100 Thieves. Like we need them to start kind of cultivating that next generation to make sure that this is a industry that has staying power.
I think there's also like a subcategory around that too, where we were talking about talent earlier. It seems like every couple of months there's always some weird talent news that comes out where it's like this talent, this caster wasn't getting paid as much as this caster, so they left CS:GO, or this caster had bad experiences on League of Legends stages or something like that. There's essentially at this point no standard set for talent coming forward. Like if you're putting casters forward, maybe have like a minimum entry for what you want to be paying somebody outside of like two people getting paid more than one person at a Counter-Strike desk. This actually this was recent, actually, within the past couple of months.
I don't even think it has to be like monetarily though, where like these people have to hire people per se. I just think they have to speak out a little bit more about it. And of course, when it comes to these organizations, it's not all sunshines and rainbows. It's not all money coming in. There's a lot of money going out. But I think that like just speaking it out there was like these smaller guys or these mid-level guys, like they're doing good things. And I think that they're starting to do it. That's the thing. I don't think that it's completely swept under the rug. Like people get noticed. Like Jake, I consider you upper in the industry, and people recognize you, which is so fucking cool. Where like you were on Andy Miller and fucking Hex's podcast today. They brought you up. Hex pulled your page up by accident at one point too. Like that's so fucking cool to me. Where like there is growth that can happen within the industry, and I promise you, if there's someone that's like an up and coming streamer that one of these like CEOs see potential in, it's not even a money standpoint. Like, hey, do you want to stream like under this umbrella? And the exposure that you get from an established esports brand compared to a company that already has a stage set and they try to promote gaming when they're not in it, or esports while they're not in it. I think it's a lot easier for these companies to bring in people that will literally like work for free. And we've seen it kind of happen, right? I feel like Jake, you could speak on this more, like JHB's upbringing. I feel like he just got kind of like found by being friends with like certain people, and now he's killing it. He has his own YouTube series and stuff like that.
I think it's tough. I think you guys bring up even like a more important point possibly of like, I feel like talent and casters and desk talent for esports events are just as taken for granted as news talent.
100%.
100%.
Like imagine you watching a game and there's no commentary. Like there's nothing. Like you wouldn't watch.
Mm-hmm.
You can. I guess you in-game noise and just hear that all game. But there's no chance you'd enjoy it near as much.
Yeah, it's like watching on Twitch now. It's just the in-game noise.
Yeah, just mute the in-game noise and you're good.
Guitar Hero like this.
Sorry, go ahead, though.
Yeah.
But it's kind of crazy because like, how do you prove yourself as a news talent? How do you prove yourself as a caster? Or how the heck do you prove yourself as a desk talent? Like there's no esports organization that's going to be like, yo, because they can't sign news people. They can't sign casters. They're not going to sign desk talent. So it's a different field, but it's definitely taken for granted because the only people you're going to be hired by is the DreamHacks and the ESLs. How do you freaking break into that market, right? So that's another concerning thing for me. You can be a rising creator, streamer, player, pro, whatever it is, and esports org can offer you an opportunity. Those same opportunities generally aren't there for the much, much needed talent that keep this thing going. So that's what I drew from that. It's just kind of, it's interesting.
Yeah, I think people forget about how many like different avenues you could take into esports. I forget what the org was, but Beehive got signed as like a professional tweeter.
NRG.
NRG, yeah. But like, there's so many different avenues you can take. Where like, I think the mob kind of like made their stop by being internet like pests. They were like replying to everything, and like, all right, here's another story. Like Greek God X made his stop by stream sniping people and like yelling funny things on his death chat. And like, just like there's different avenues. And to think, granted, Greeks is very different from what I'm saying, but I think esports as a whole opens up a lot of avenues that traditional sports companies also do, where like you can be social media, you could be coverage, you can be content, you could be a player. Like there's so many different ways in. I think a lot of people kind of sweep under the rug different things that you can be doing. You don't have to be the best at a video game. You don't have to be a streamer. You don't have to be a podcaster. You don't have to make videos. guess what? You could be fucking hilarious on social media and like that'll get potentially picked up. But I do agree where like, yes, it takes work, but people that are like boots on the ground, like believe in the industry, I feel like those opportunities aren't there for those people just yet. It could be. It could be. We don't know. Once again, it's up in the air, but
yeah. And I think it's definitely tougher for talent out there to prove themselves in the ways and the facets that gamers or content creators can. It's also funny you bring it up because I feel like 100 Thieves and TSM are commonly hated on organizations for their own reasons. But it's also like 100 Thieves that is giving the mob or JHB opportunities that other people look at and they're like, yo, I want to be the mob. I want to be JHB.
Yeah.
Or like you look at TSM, they've signed a chess player. Like you look at these organizations, you can hate on them for a lack of esports success here or there, or what they do wrong here and there, but they're the same organizations that are giving opportunities that people do look up to. And it's the reason why esports has expanded and gaming has expanded to such weird genres and such weird opportunities. And unfortunately, we don't see that on the talent side yet.
Right.
I just don't know what it has to be.
I hate to even make like a real world sports comparison, but like I feel like the Dallas Cowboys have fucking sucked for the last like decade, but they're still the most profitable football franchise on earth right now. They haven't won anything since the 90s, and they're still the most valuable football franchise on earth. So it's not like this is kind of like that next frontier that I think esports needs to take, where the fans, the commentators, everybody, you need to acknowledge that it's not all championships, it's not all hardware, like that defines greatness with a franchise. Like they might have some sort of sphere of influence that goes outside of their normal territory. Like, they're attracting fans from all over the world or all over the country, even though they're based in Los Angeles or they're based in Boston or they're based, in Chicago. That type of stuff needs to be factored in. And I feel like right now, and this is coming from somebody who, out of the 4 people on this call, is probably the least knowledgeable about esports, but I feel as though it's very binary with esports. Like either you're good or you're not. And you either have the talent or you don't. Either you have the hardware or you don't. Or you you're in contention for these titles or you're a bum. And I feel like it's right now, like you have your underdog stories, and that's always all fine and good. But I feel like it's a pretty fickle type industry where, folks who you might not have rooted for a year ago all of a sudden are good and they sign this one player and that's that. But I'm still kind of like waiting to see this middle ground be fleshed out, where it's not always just the folks who are winning and the folks who are losing, but there's other things that are brought into consideration.
I really like that comparison you made, because like I wouldn't call 100 Thieves America's team, like the Cowboys are, but as long as you make those, like you're at least making it like you're trying to make those moves, like you're remaining relevant, obviously for good reason. And so like in that comparison, like 100 Thieves is almost like a Dallas Cowboys, and like I would say TSM is almost like the Yankees. They're always throwing money. And yeah, Yankees have seen success, but they've definitely had their down years where it's like, how do you spend that much and you can't manage to win, but everyone still talks about you? So I definitely do think there are crossover comparisons that can be made. And it's like, you look at, like, I gas this guy up. I can't not imagine anyone else being like an Optic and a Hex. Like the brand was dead for over a year, has already come back and is already as popular as it was before. Mm-hmm. I mean, there are so many things you can talk about with Optic Gaming and Hex that no one will ever do. And so it's like, what can you do with that now? Especially now you're under NRG. It's like, what the frick is going on? Like, who would have ever thought? Like, what if I told you guys in 2016, all right, listen, Optic Gaming is going to be underneath NRG for Call of Duty, huh?
What you think? Kick rocks. I wouldn't have believed you.
Beat it.
But like, I think like what you were saying, Dom, how it's like esports is binary when it comes to like W's and L's. I think it's a lot more than that.
I agree. I think there's a lot more. I think a ton of minutia in between.
So let me clarify. Let me clarify that to the casual audience. That is what I'm seeing as somebody who isn't as well versed. For you guys who like are way more familiar with, and I'm sure you're about to explain it to me. I think for the casual audience, that's not that's not what I see. And
Yeah,
and that's
fair.
very much me. But that's what I'm saying is like that's gonna come with time. But like there's gotta be some sort of reason why. Like you think about like just real quick, and I don't want to interrupt, but like for the folks that I know that like European soccer, and I'm a big soccer guy. I'm a big Liverpool fan, and Liverpool wasn't winning dick when I started following them. And the only reason why I started following them is because one of my buddies fucking rolled up a sleeve on his shirt and had like the Liverpool crest on his shoulder. And I was like, all right, clearly I'm going to need to follow this guy into the fucking pits of hell if I need to. So... But everybody else I know who's like a Manchester United fan, for example, they were like, I literally had a kid one time say to me, I'm a Manchester United fan because when the first time I played FIFA, they were a 5-star team and I started playing with them and they were good. And I started winning with them and now I follow them in real life. So that's kind of what I'm talking about is like, you're going to follow the teams that you've heard of and that's pretty much it. But like, there's nobody I know in real life who's like a Sunderland fan or like a fucking Newcastle fan or something like that because they're mid to low table. And granted, I'm so sorry because we actually are like top 50 in the UK for gaming podcasts, and I'm sure that we're gonna get fucking shellacked with comments now where people are like,
dude, we're gonna have fucking hooligans kicking down doorways downtown Boston.
You had to
looking for us right now.
Yeah, like Boston Brad is a Man U fan just because they were 5 stars in FIFA 10 years ago, and now they haven't won jack dick since he hit puberty. So who knows? I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Is like it's the visibility for the mid to low table teams is a lot more difficult.
I agree with that. No, believe me, I hear you. As like as a casual looking in, you see the championships, you see the hardware. I think where this brings us to another point, the whole thing, was it Hashra that said the whole thing about I only care about winning championships, I don't care about selling hoodies.
Sure did.
While I do agree with that,
what a fucking take.
Don't get me wrong, you want wins. You do want wins, but there's so much more that comes with owning an esports org besides just winning and losing. You have to make it profitable. You're paying out all these players. You might not win every major, every championship, whatever you want. I think there has to be things happening behind the scenes, which is where content creeps in. I think content is a great way to build that baseline of money. If you have people that are coming on, and let's do it again, 100 Thieves, right? Let's talk about their streamers. Valkyrie, Brooke, Courage, Nate Shot himself. I'm forgetting a big one. Holy shit. Who?
Mo from League of Legends.
Mo. Okay. Perfect. So like think of that baseline that they're making on their like their YouTube revenue, right? Where obviously there's like a cut going back to 100T. That's like something that you can work from and build more. But if you're strictly going for wins and losses while not generating money elsewhere, you're going to dig yourself into a hole. In my opinion, at least, like if your team isn't like lights out winning every one, you don't have money to work with, which takes away your growth to invest in more players, better players, more content creators. I think you need more. Jake, you want to talk on that?
I think that's definitely why we see organizations falling in love with what they did in Fortnite and now with Warzone, because you have the potential to sign pro players who can compete, stream, and make content. So they offer you multiple facets back to yourself. I think that's why we see 100 Thieves main focus on content creators, but they also make use of those content creators. Like, right, they get a house in LA and they're actually making use of it to make content for their main channel, and they are signing people for a purpose, right? Whether it be to stream or make content or sell merch and apparel to make money back. Yes, 100 Thieves obviously has an eye on the talent they want, and the talent they have chosen has been like, yeah, you can hate him or love him, but like, I think honestly, people like Hastro love the guy, love Envy. You're not going to find me hating on many esports organizations or teams out there. I think the more that people tweet like that, the more comments I've seen is like 100 Thieves living rent free in other orgs' heads, because they have made up so much space so fast. And again, love them, hate them. You got to give them credit where it's due. There's a reason why
the Counter-Strike team absolutely stinks, though.
Yeah, and obviously when they left CS:GO, like they're gonna get flack for that, right? But they left it to join an esport where they have titles in and they see more return in. At least we hope. And so that's kind of like Call of Duty is.
Oh, I was talking about Envy, but yeah, to your point, 100 Thieves. That we were going to talk about this a couple of weeks ago on the podcast that 100 Thieves is back into back into Call of Duty, and I immediately told Chris, I was like, yeah, they just sold their Counter-Strike team for that CDL spot.
Ironically, ironically, we also have seen other orgs, sell their CS:GO rosters to make the same exact move. But to your point, really quickly, back to Hastro and Envy. But yeah, once they sold the CS:GO roster, it was like, big Call of Duty investment coming. But to your point, though, when Hastro tweets that, like, you got to back it up. We were talking in the pre-podcast about Carlos, G2 Carlos, Ocelot. He can say, and I don't want to gas him up too much, he can say on social media just about anything he wants because G2 can back it up. Can Envy do the same kind of smack talk that G2 can? In my opinion,
no way.
No.
I'll say it for you. I'll say it for you, Jake. Don't worry. No fucking chance. Okay. I said it. I tweeted this a couple of days ago after they signed Nico. I truly don't think that once their gears start going in professional Counter-Strike with Nico in their roster, I don't know if there's another talented team that will be able to beat them. Currently, right now, they're trying to work through a tentative 6-man roster where they're trying to figure out if they want Amanek or Jax to be their 5th man. I genuinely think they're going to stick to a 6-man roster. But like once that fucking happens, I still think they're going to be the most talented team in Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
And can you do that? No, because I got hammered at the fucking PAX after party, the Acer after party, and I was screaming at King Dave from the Iron Lords podcast saying, put me on the stage. I'm going to go spank Envy right now in their Counter-Strike matches.
One other thing that I just wanted to touch on real quick, just to kind of like bookend what I was saying earlier, is one such moment that I was thinking of, which is not all about like W's and L's, was, and Bob, you brought this to my attention initially, and Jake, this was from one of your videos, which was Jason Lake talking about complexity during, I think, Blast Premiere last year or the year before,
when he cried?
I cried. Yes.
And he was talking about how like there was one fan there who was there to watch complexity, and like, that type of stuff for me transcends the whatever the like before and after the word sport is, whether it's esports, traditional sports, like international sports, like whatever the fucking thing, like that transcends sports for me. The Hex Optic return video that dropped a couple days ago, same exact feel.
Freaking chills.
Dude, when he drops the chain.
I don't know my ass from my elbow when it comes to competitive Call of Duty. I don't know Hex from a hole in the wall. I don't know the story about Optic, but that video gave me fucking chills. That type of stuff, the Jason Lake complexity thing, the like retrospective that I saw all about like Nade Shot, like where he came from and now where he is now. That type of stuff is what transcends sport in general. The 5-letter word that brings together people from fucking any walk of life, regardless of anything that makes you a human being, like that sport is what brings them together. And that type of stuff, that is those moments, the more that those are brought to the forefront, the more the casual viewer is going to be drawn in, because that type of shit, that's like when I show you, if you've never seen it, the Landon Donovan U.S. men's national team goal, I think against Algeria. It ended up being an inconsequential goal, but on a world stage was a completely heart-wrenching moment, because it was one of the first like major moments that they've ever had in like the men's World Cup competition for this country. That type of stuff is, you watch like Vince Carter's dunk contest from like the 90s, and you see like this is, that type of stuff is like that is on that same kind of level of sports impact. And that is the thing, and what is the thing that ties all of that together is those desk talent, the commentators, the people who are there to narrate it. Your Mankind getting pushed off of a fucking Hell in a Cell. That clip,
God, he killed him.
That clip wouldn't be what it is without Jim Ross behind the booth calling it. And that's the type of stuff that is going to take esports from an incredible, profitable industry, which is what it is right now, to right up there with, something that is legitimately never going to go away. And I think I'm kind of, again, rambling here, but I think about the Jason Light complexity video all the time. I go back and I watch it all the fucking time. And there's about...
I will forever be a complexity fan after what they did to fucking Astralis that day. And after that video.
Yeah, it's incredible. And like after Bob showed me that, and he was like, everybody needs to watch this right now. Dom, you need to watch this right now. I don't care if you know anything about anybody in this video. And I watched it, I was like, I can't believe that. I can't believe it. And it's just, that type of stuff, that's what the fuck I'm talking about. Like, we need all that.
The passion in these 4 squares right now it's remarkable. It's truly remarkable, and it's like heartwarming. The passion that's just flying around. Jake looking brolic and buff. Dom, the mustache flowing in the wind. The forehead greased up like a motherfucker. Bob looking plump as shit.
What the fuck, dude? I'm out there flexing for you right now. Look at this shit. You kidding me?
Don't make me. Oh,
fuck,
Jake, dude.
I could kiss the ceiling if I wanted to.
Jake, one of my favorite tweets I've ever sent to you was when you eat food, the food thinks it's on a road trip.
Dude, another part that I love of like I just love the Twitter game. Like, you get your haters, but like you get the creativity, dude. Like sometimes I'll just sit back and read responses, and you really see where people come from. Like, dude, I tweeted out something about the this random guy who was trying to name the combining of the Huntsman and Optic, and just
my god, that was so good.
Dude, I was dying
Huntic.
laughing to one of the responses. Like, of course, a bunch of sources tweeting out that Optic was expected to return, and then this guy is like, why don't they make it combine Optic and Huntsman to make the Optic men or Huntic? And there was one response that I literally just sat here and I was just like, I need to find it. But I was just...
it was like the Neil deGrasse Tyson thing where it was like, we've reached levels of intelligence that we're not meant to reach.
But this guy, I just read random comments sometimes, and I'm like, I wish I was as creative as you. This guy just comments, Chicoptic Gamesmen, and I just lose. I was like imagine introducing Chicoptic Gamesmen.
It's actually a sick name. That person's on a whole different level.
Like, imagine it, like, picture it. Hex comes back, and you're thinking it's Chicago Optic, and he just comes out, Chicoptic Gamesmen are here, babe. The big Chicoptic Gamesmen.
That's something he could possibly do. And all I'm going to say is he could pull it off. Hex can do it. He can do it. I hope he does it.
Because people would still be like, for 2 months, are we serious?
Chicoptic. That's it, Chicago.
Shout out to Gamesmen.
Oh my god. But yeah, it's just like things like that. I love, like, obviously you got to build your personalities. And to your point as well, like, you have to be a Jason Lake. You have to be an OG. Like, imagine if we ever see Hector cry. The esports and gaming world freaks out. Like, we've seen these slim moments here and there, these highlight moments. I always think of the Cloud9 Boston Major, but more to your point, like, you need those moments.
Stop. I'll cry right now. Stop. Don't even bring it up.
Will we ever be back there?
No, we won't. Because I was going to bring this up to you when we were talking about 100 Thieves being the franchise of NA. At one point, Liquid was. And, or like Liquid, Cloud9, they were.
Let's not talk about North American esports.
Not anymore, though. It hurts. It breaks my little heart.
Oh my!
Yeah, but what if? I don't know how, like, the CDL is broken up, and I will watch it next year. You have my promise. The next season I will watch. So Chicago Optic. I'm sorry, the Chicoptic Gamesmen make it to the CDL finals and win, and Hex takes the stage to accept that trophy with the team. I mean, is there a dry eye in the house?
No. Can't be.
Like, it's just crazy. That'll go down in history, you know? Like, I just wonder, really quick, I'm kind of buzzed, okay? Had a little bit of whiskey. Like,
nice.
Don't you wonder, like, you've talked about notorious sports moments that you can go back and listen to. Like, what will that be for esports? We've only been around for 10, 15, 20 years, and we already have moments we can talk about. Like, what about 2 generations from now? Are they going to come back and still look at 2018 Cloud9 Boston Major? Are they going to still look at Jason Lake Complexity crying? Who knows? Like,
I will.
Yeah.
I hope they do.
This year is going to overtake the CDL. It's going to be Chicago Optic and LA Thieves in the finals.
I just think about
You're fucking insane.
whenever I pretty much anytime I ever go to like a Celtics game with my dad, we'll be there, a couple refreshments deep, and he'll be like, "Kid, you don't even know. Like back when I was a kid, we used to be able to smoke cigarettes in here." And then we would come in, me and all 8 of my brothers, and I would pass my driver's license behind me so that they could buy beers. And this isn't basketball, all right? This is basketball used to. This is what basketball used to be. And like that's what I just want to see. Like Bob, age 55, 4 kids, like just explaining.
One,
Like, this
hold
is
on, let me stop you there. 1, not making it to 55. 2, not having 4 kids. Okay.
but I mean,
Kids in this economy?
I'm just saying. I just want Bob like this isn't Counter-Strike. Like back in my day, back when I was top 1 NA in Counter-Strike, I was the best operator in the game.
Yeah, I hope at that point, I hope to God, like it's like what he's saying is like, oh, I wish you could have seen Global Offensive, And
Yeah.
at what point it's like Counter-Strike Cold War. God knows what it's going to be, right?
Yeah, right.
Counter-Strike Black Ops 2.
Yeah.
You should
1v1 on shipment if you think this is good. 1v1 shipment quick scopes.
like for us, yeah, it's like we missed the MW2 Rust days. What's it going to be 20 years from now, right?
Wow, it's going to be crazy how dads discipline their kids in just a couple of years. They bring out the old Xbox 360 and they just pull out 2 controllers. They give their kid the like Mad Catz controller that's covered in like 30 years with the Cheeto dust, and they just go, all right, 1v1 me.
You don't have to worry about that because Call of Duty just refurbishes old maps every second game, so you won't have to worry about Rust ever. You won't ever have to worry about.
You won't ever have to
opening
worry
up
about
Xbox
Rust getting
360.
rusty, is what you're saying?
No, because Rust is going to be in not this upcoming Call of Duty, but the next one.
Like 20
Like
years from
what?
now, is it going to be like Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War 12? Like, what are we looking at 20 years from now?
Yeah, Call of Duty, Black Ops, Advanced Warfare, Modern Ops,
Modern Dilemma,
Modern Dilemma, Ghost,
modern naming dilemma.
15th. And coming mid-patch, we're going to put Nuketown. Oh, shit. All right.
Make something new. Jesus fucking Christ.
I remember when they invented chocolate.
What are they selling? Every morning I wake up, I break my legs. When I go to night, I break my arms. All right, we've gone over. Any final thoughts before we land the train?
Yeah, we got voicemails, right?
Do we have voicemails now?
Yeah, we sure do. We have voicemails.
All right, Chris, I'll reel it up for you.
That's all right. No, we get some
Calls
voicemails.
it. It is lemonade. Look at that 9% right there. You see that bad boy? Come on now.
All right.
Chugging whiskey.
Real quick, we're gonna go through some voicemails. 617. Wow, what the fuck is the phone number? Wow. Hold on a second. 617-701-7678. Leave a voicemail and we will read it live on the show as long as it doesn't get us TOS. You want relationship advice, you want to suggest a topic, you want to give us a roast, you want to give us a compliment, whatever you want. So 617-701-7678, the WGG Internet Dad Sauce Line. First caller, here we go. What do you got?
What is up, Founding Fathers and WGG fam, and the one, the only Jake Lucky. Hope everyone's having a wonderful week so far. If you're in the States, we're in the month of November, so we have Thanksgiving coming up. If you're in Canada, you had it literally a month ago. So my question for everybody this week for this pod is, what's your Thanksgiving plans? For me, I'll be going camping with the fam, so that's going to be pretty cool. Spending it outdoors. Hopefully it's not going to be too cold and too rainy. But yeah, much love as always, guys. Appreciate you. Appreciate the pod. Much love. Peace.
Great question, JB. I thought we were going to get another what's your go-to Thanksgiving food?
That's next
Or your
week.
Thanksgiving side.
That's
And
next week.
somebody would say fucking sweet potato pie, and we would say that's not a fucking side.
I feel
No,
like Jake's
sweet
a
potato
cranberry
casserole
sauce
is
type
a
of guy.
Wait, what'd you say?
Do you like cranberry sauce?
Ew, no, I don't like
All right,
food.
cool. I like you even more now. All right.
The cranberry
There you go.
sauce doesn't have to go for a road trip. My Thanksgiving plans, probably nothing. Honestly, we are probably just go like quick visit to my mother's and a quick visit to the in-laws, and that'll probably be that. Tough year, it's just not probably a great idea to do like a big family thing like we always do, and I love Thanksgiving so much. And especially Thanksgiving Eve, which we also can't do. So that all kinds of sucks. So yeah, but nothing really big for me. Probably gonna end up gaming. Little dinner, couple games, couple beers, go to bed.
I dig it. Mine's gonna be a small family get together. We all have to get COVID tested before we go and like show proof before. So there's gonna be like 5-6 of us there, I think. So probably just that. Like Dom said. So Jake, I don't know if it's like this for you, but Thanksgiving Eve is the consumption vortex, where like that's when you get the drunkest of the year is Thanksgiving Eve. You wake up on Thanksgiving, you sit down at the table, you can't even taste the food. Like that's just how hungover you are. It's a ritual around here. I don't know if it's worldwide.
I wish it was.
Dude, it's
Worldwide. Chris, there's 2 fucking countries that celebrate Thanksgiving.
Yeah, around the world.
Oh my God. How many countries do you think exist on this planet?
How many what?
How many countries do you think exist on the planet, Chris?
A lot. A couple thousand.
All right, what are your Thanksgiving plans, Jake?
I'd luckily get to see the fam too, just close immediate family. I'll be flying back to Iowa and taking a nice, I think, 4 or 5 day break, including the weekend. So nothing too special though.
Nice.
I'll probably be the only one drinking, but I'll drink excessively for you guys. So
love that. Love that.
Look, whenever we're not in a global pandemic and you want to celebrate a Thanksgiving Eve the right way, come to Boston. And when I say Boston, I mean North Dakota.
Yeah, because we do not live in Boston.
We don't live in Boston. We live in North Dakota. And we'll show you how to experience Thanksgiving Eve. I'll just see my parents and my sisters and my nephews. And that's it. No big family thing, just direct family.
All right, next call.
What is up, guys? It is your faraway degenerate Tiggy here. We got pepperoni Papa Don. Let me be the first to wish you a happy belated birthday. We got CDL's best and quickest reporter in the game, Chrissy P. And then we got first to the key, first to the egg, Dr. Bob. And we are joined by none other than the highly esteemed Charles Mountain, Big J journalist Jake Lucky. What's up, guys? Anyway, so, new Call of Duty coming down tonight, Obviously, you guys have been around the block when it comes to competitive gaming. I know Bob's got enough medallions with all your guys' weight put together next to him. And so, my hypothetical is, you hop in new Call of Duty, a lot of kids yapping their flappy gums in the game chat. What is your go-to trash-talking line or your favorite line you've ever had on those punk little kids? I mean, my personal favorite, I hit him with your mother uses ragu as a meat sauce, hit him real deep in that Italian blood. So, anyways, guys, that's all I got. I'm going to go run a few miles and get it shredded as Jake right now. And, anyways, keep on going. Love you guys. Peace.
All right, your go-to insult in a COD lobby.
Oh,
Holy shit,
thank
Tiggy.
you again, Tiggy.
Oh, my God.
Thank you for the energy. Thank you for the great question. Oh, man.
So your mother's already taken. I mean, I feel like you have to go scoreboard. No. My favorite one. So this is what I always do, regardless of what day of the week it is. If it's like a young whippersnapper, like you could tell in their voice that they're very young, I go, must suck that you have to go to school tomorrow, huh? They do, dude. I'm 18. I'm like, yeah, okay, pal. You sound like you're fucking 12.
And now he'd be like, "It's a pandemic. It's online, idiot."
Yeah, no, I gotta work on my game. I'm gonna
sleep it in.
I'll talk about like his grandma. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to tap into the family, but I'll think about it. But yeah, that's mine.
I adopted when I started playing Counter-Strike again. When people start talking shit in lobby, I just say, "I'm gonna kiss your dad tonight," and then they just stop talking.
What?
Yeah, I tell everybody. Ask Scrap. This is okay. So recently, I've just been muting everybody because I don't want to fucking deal. I don't want to talk to people. I don't want to listen to people. I just want to play Counter-Strike with Steve and fucking John. But if for some reason I forget to mute someone and they start running their mouths, I just say, I'm gonna kiss your dad tonight, and then I mute them, and then I play the rest of the game.
I mean, that's a wild chirp.
I love it.
I like that.
I like it, but like if I ever walked in on you like making out with my dad, I'd probably burn the house down.
I'm picturing it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna look. I didn't say I'm gonna make out with your dad. I said I'm gonna kiss your dad tonight. I'm not going deep. I'm just gonna say like I'm not going tongue down to tonsil. I'm just gonna kiss your dad, and then I mute them, and then we get to play the rest of the game.
You like show how you would do it. Like, give me like a little peck,
like on the mic.
Wait.
Oh, dude, you're fucking nasty, dude.
My dad heard that.
I hope he doesn't listen.
I think for me it's just like just a nice classic, like really loud and really fast repeating, just like you're so fucking trash, you're so fucking trash, you're so bad, you're so bad, you're so fucking trash, you're so fucking trash. That's all, you know, just a nice good old fashioned. They can't respond. There's nothing, dude. There's just nothing that you can say, dude. And this is me after going 3-17, and I'm just like, you're so fucking trash. You're fucking garbage. You're fucking trash. I uninstall the game. Refund it. Go request a refund on Steam right now. Go refund it. That's me. That's it. And this is after this is. I'm getting a hard carry. I'm getting a hard carry from the guy who's like 32-5. In the top slot. I am bottom fragging like 2-17. This is me after every game that I played with like Steve and Kenny in Star Wars Squadrons, where Kenny had like 15 kills. I had 1. I went like 1-15. It was like, get fucking good. You guys are fucking trash. You're a fucking embarrassment. That's just me, dude.
That's just me, dude.
That's me. That's me. I'm the glue guy. I am the glue guy. I am exclusively in the party to talk shit after the game after you carry me.
Oh my god, that was scrap. Every fucking game of Counter-Strike. He didn't care if he got any kills. He would just be the guy talking shit to everybody.
That's it.
You need one.
The enforcer.
I am exclusively in there to chirp, and there is nothing else that I am there to do. You invite me into your party to A, carry me, and B, have me scream at everybody in the post-game lobby. That's it. That's what I'm there for. And that's it. I'm the glue guy. I'm very much
wait, Jake, what do you say? How do you talk shit?
Man, I usually just go with like, my sister's hotter than your sister.
All right.
Damn.
Very Iowa. Very.
But I'll give you guys a serious answer. God forgive. Anyway, I don't really say bad things. So like my go-to has frequently in like the friends group, and they're like, I don't know. Oh man, it's not PG for me.
You pause where whatever PG word you weren't gonna say, I'll say it. Okay, just pause. Give me an extended pause, and I'll say it for you.
Like Mad Libs.
Okay. I can say this though. Like I've been going like with the like, oh, you're such a cock rag, dude.
Oh, cock rag.
Okay.
Ooh.
Like you wipe down chickens with it.
Yes, it's the Midwest in me, you know?
Yep. All right. Yeah, we... Yep. Kenny said, I've been teaching Don the League of Legends trash talk. Yeah, we were there. We were getting fucking smoked, and we were still talking shit. So, all right, last voicemail. Here we go.
Hey, guys. Happy Friday, Junior. Just shooting the shit with Gumby, a.k.a. Chris in the Discords. That's Dylan. Just wanted to ask you guys a question, and my question for you guys is, which game throughout your lives gave you the biggest sensation of being powerful? The most effective power fantasy, if you will. Anyway, stay frosty, and I love you. My new WGG Christmas sweater came in. That's the shit.
Nice.
The rest of you should buy their merch, you filthy vagrants. Have a good one. Hope it's a good podcast. Love you, dudes. Peace.
Hey, Disco D.
Shout out.
Disco D.
Hey,
Question. That's an interesting question.
Dylan, if he tries to ban you or mute you, I'll unban you.
I was just gonna ask him why he called me Gumby, you know?
Why? I mean,
I thought you were trying to rebrand, Chris. What the fuck?
With time, I can't rebrand just now. My name's so boring compared to everyone else's.
all right, you guys answer it. I need to go pee.
Mine's GTA, and you have to throw all like the cheats in. So you throw like you can get rid of the cops like super easy. The weapon cheats R1 R2 L1 R2 left arm right up or down down or down left. Still know them. You can put like the infinite health on, and then recently, a couple months ago, I played with someone within the community who completely bamboozled me and said he was friends with someone who knew how to hack the game that could give us money. Fast forward into the future, I found out it was him. The dude would just shoot like a bazooka out, and it would just fall money on the ground. And I felt like Big Meech just running around town with like bags of money. Went to the casino, all on red, lost, just like real life. But I felt powerful in that moment. Bob, what do you got?
I'm going to report you.
I didn't do it. I didn't even know.
You were picking up the cheated money.
Yeah, but like if someone robs a bank and drops money on the ground and you walk past it, you didn't know. Like
Chris,
you just picked up.
you have zero game integrity, and that's why you're scumbag, Chris. That's your new brand. That's your new brand.
You're never gonna make it in gaming, bro. You need integrity, man. Moral.
That is Chris's new rebrand. It's not Gumby. It's just scumbag Chris. That's what it is. WGG scumbag Chris.
It's too big. It won't fit on like socials or anything like that.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, as if you know anything about social. Sorry,
I don't know anything about it. I don't know a goddamn thing. I don't know a goddamn thing.
Mine is God of War. That game is that entire franchise is just a complete power trip. The whole everything about it. It's a power trip.
All right. Dom, what do you got?
I would say my like 10th playthrough of Mass Effect after maxing out after like 5 playthroughs of Mass Effect 2 and then 5 of Mass Effect 3, having my Renegade Vanguard fully leveled. Like all my skills maxed out, and I'm just fucking charge shotgun, and I'm wiping down this game on insanity. That I have never felt more broken and more powerful in my life than I have when I played that game. Otherwise, I would say power fantasy. When you play as oh my god, the name is escaping me right now, and I don't want to Google it, but I kind of have to. The fierce deity Link in Majora's Mask, when you become like the big fucking sick version of Link during kind of the final act of that game, like that shit also got my rocks off. Like when I was at like 12 playing that game, and you become this like sick, cool, tattooed Link, and you're just beating the shit out of the fucking Skull Kid, dude. Come on. And the
Misunderstood though.
What's that?
Skull Kid was really misunderstood.
He was
misunderstood. He was. All right, Jake, you.
Oh man, you had some unique. And I'll give a quick 2. Halo. When I have a ghost, just bopping kids.
Ooh.
Way OP. Just every time. And RuneScape. Making a mate here, PKing.
Nice.
Ooh. Jake, I'm gonna tell you, if our esports careers don't work out, we can just become RuneScape content creators if you really want.
I mean, hey, that game has lasted way longer than I thought, so I think it has a future. So I'll hit you up.
All right, we're in. We're back. We're fucking back. RuneScape's back. I'm so excited.
You never go away.
We have a late breaking voicemail, so last one, and then we'll land the train. But here's last one.
Yo, WGG, it's C-Dog209. I'm calling in. What's up? Have you guys seen High Score on Netflix? I watched the whole thing. It's a docuseries, about 6 episodes. Talks about video games in the United States, the history of it, the console wars, everything. Loving what you guys are doing right now. I'm on the hype train for the wicked good gaming news of the console wars on the field. Chris P., I'm praying for you. Stay safe out there. Console wars is just beginning. I swear. Peace.
I haven't watched that personally, no, but I will. Is that the one with the rock in it? No, that's a different one. Never mind.
Yeah, that's the Scorpion King.
No, not the fucking.
Dude, hold on, time out. I called that the Scorpion King was going to get a fucking reboot. I called it. Okay, I said it was going to happen.
If Brendan Fraser's not in it, hard pass.
When can we acknowledge the fact that when I make these predictions, they come true?
Have you watched the show on Netflix, Bob? That's the question. Have you watched the show?
I haven't. I haven't. I've been asked 100 times if I have. I have not yet, but I heard great things.
I like when my aunts or uncles would be like, "You like those video games, right? You ever watched that show on Netflix with the Donkey Kong on it?" I'm like, "No, auntie, I haven't watched it yet. I'm gonna. Yeah, well, they talk about Tetris and all the other ones. You know, they got the other games in there with the guns, and I don't like those ones, but, you know. Like, yeah, I'll get around to it. I appreciate it, though. Jake, you seen it?
I have not, though. But usually when I respond to my aunties, I go, "That's the future, though."
That's right. Get like hella defensive about it.
Just get overly defensive.
Yeah. What the fuck you talking about, Nan?
You don't under freaking stand, Marcy.
Aunt Janine, you just don't fucking get it, all right?
I tell you every Christmas break about this, and you never give me any credit.
Jake, you still talking about the video games on the internet? Wow.
You don't reset my Apple ID password?
No one sees your Facebook posts, okay, Nan?
No one cares. Granny.
Oh, God.
Oh, shit. I'm sweating tits. All right, are we all out of voicemails?
Yeah.
Okay, so it is officially time to land the train. What this means is we open up the floor. People shout out who they want to shout out. They plug what they want to plug. Jake, because you are the guest tonight, I'm going to roll out the red carpet to you. Please plug what you want to plug. Shout out what you want to shout out. Jack Daniels on the shoulder. Go ahead.
Thank you guys for having me, first off and foremost. And if you want to follow us on Esports Talk on YouTube or Jake Sucky on Twitter, I'm proud to be here, guys. Great banter back and forth, and love picking the minds of some of the best and hardest grinders in the game. So I appreciate being here. All love.
All love, man.
You're going to make me fucking cry. Stop.
Unreal. No, it's been a pleasure. It's been it was a pleasant surprise. When you like, I don't know if you do podcasts that often, but like when you were just like, oh yeah, like podcast, yada yada. So we worked it out. I'm very happy you were here. Obviously, it was very fun to kind of pick the minds of people that are in the industry that care about it. So much love. Thank you for coming on. Dom, what do you got?
Big shout out to Jake. Thank you for coming on. Big shout out to all of the refreshments that got to take a nice road trip on their way down. Glad you had a couple beers with us or a couple whiskeys with us. And you know, you did make an inaccurate prediction at the beginning of the podcast that your complexion was going to be the same color as your shirt, and it is now darker than your shirt. So nice little Nantucket red right there instead of the neon pink shirt. So this is great. This is a side of Jake Lucky that I feel like a lot of people don't get to see. So I'm feeling fortunate there. So big shout out to Jake. Big shout out to Esports Talk. Go check that out. What else? Also, we are still raising money for Movember. As you can see, this mustache is still in full effect. I do not do this for my health. I do this for men's health in general. One thing that I will say, and I've seen a lot of these tweets floating around this week, is that men's health is a crisis, know it or not. I believe it's 75% of all suicides are male suicides. And this is something that men don't like to talk about a lot because, guys, we're being a man, we don't have to talk about being healthy and shit. But that is not the case, and that's what leads to so many men dying too young. So Movember is an amazing charity that funds over 1,500 projects per year to promote men's mental health, suicide prevention, and also early detection and prevention of men's cancers like testicular cancer and prostate cancer. It is an incredible, incredible charity. I have raised money for it for over 7 years now. Every single year I grow this dumb mustache on my face so that when somebody brings it up and says, "Why do you have a mustache on your face?" I get to tell them exactly what I just told you. So it's in the show notes. If you guys want to donate to Movember, it is an incredible charity. It is something that is near and dear to my heart. We unfortunately just had a really bright young talent, lose their lives to this cause, and this is something that is something that we can prevent. It's something that we can get ahead of. It's something that we can talk about and start conversations about, and hopefully better each other's lives, so that this doesn't have to become something that's taboo, and it doesn't have to become something that we only discuss when it's too late. So I will leave you with this, and that we kind of touched on this earlier in the episode, and I'll pass this back over in just a second, but as much as we have fun on the internet joking around and laughing and screaming and drinking and shit every week, the internet can be a really tough place. It can be a toxic place. It can be a really exhausting, draining place. And there's to the point where multiple times, even just this week, I've had to go put my phone and my watch and my laptop in a separate room and completely disconnect myself because the constant negativity and toxicity can get to be a lot. If you need somebody to talk to, please reach out to them. And if you know that your friend needs somebody to talk to, please reach out to them. I guarantee, even if you haven't talked to them in weeks or months or years, that they would still appreciate to hear from you. I reached out to a buddy of mine that I haven't talked to in about 2 years that I used to play World of Warcraft with now that Shadowlands is coming out, and he's resubbing just so we can start playing together. Even if you haven't talked to somebody in a little while, even if you don't have any cause to believe that something's going wrong, reach out to somebody who you haven't talked to in a little while and just make sure they're all right. Go check in on them. I guarantee it means the world to them, and it'll make you feel better too. And this is something that I think, it affects everybody. And most of all, I think that if you have the ability to, make that quick check-in with somebody, I guarantee that they'll appreciate it and you'll impact somebody's life, know it or not. So bring a little bit of positivity into the world. This podcast, we like to take you into the weekend every single time that we do it. So this weekend, bring some positivity into the world, make somebody laugh, give somebody a compliment, big somebody up, share somebody's post or something like that. Do something that'll make them happy, and I guarantee that'll make you feel good as well. So try to leave a net positive, on the world if you listen to this. So that's all I got.
Spot on, brother. Spot the fuck on. Bob, what do you got?
Huge shout out to Jake. Thank you so much for coming on. It's a blast. We love getting like-minded people on the show to just shoot the shit for as long as possible. It's always refreshing to get people in the industry, to see other viewpoints, but then also realize that so many of us, because we work so hard, share a lot of the same viewpoints. So it was a pleasure having you on. We'd love to have you on again in the future. It's an absolute blast. Check out everything Jake's doing. I think I got one thing from YouTube. PokeSimp commented, another hot podcast hosted by the sexy Bob. Jesus Christ. If you get this riddle right, I'll reveal who I am, but only Chris can answer this. Shit, I have to see the whole thing. The person who makes it has no need of it. The person who buys it has no use for it. The person who uses it can neither see nor feel it. What is it?
What?
Okay, so Jake, little background.
I'm dumb. Okay, I'm dumb.
No, I'm not. That's not what I was gonna say. First of all, but thank you for saying that. Chris is dumb. But the other thing that I was gonna say is
it's a coffin.
We have okay, Chris was supposed to be the person that
I was gonna say that anyway.
So thanks, Dom. You really fucking ruined that. We have someone who comments on our YouTube shit all the time, every single week, because I shout out the people who do this shit for us. And their name is Pokey_simp. And for some reason they simp me. And we have no fucking clue who it is. So
it's Jake's burner. Holy shit. Reveal yourself, Jake. Go ahead. We got the real right.
I answered it right away. Bah.
It was me. All right.
Well,
anything else, Bob?
It's a coffin, so I guess that's how that works. Oh, yes. Tonight, midnight, I'm going to be going live with Doug Dagnabbit from Modern Warzone, Kenny, aka Intern Ken, and Nick, Private Square. We're going to be getting a feel for the zombies map. We're going to play for a couple of hours, probably get a couple of hours of sleep, and then we're going to go live tomorrow morning, probably right before the Easter egg goes live at 11:30 Eastern Standard Time. We're doing this. We're going for a world first. I stocked up on a bunch of fucking Monsters and Red Bulls. I got a shit ton of booze in my fridge. We're trying to world first this. I came close a couple of times. We're doing this, okay?
Gamer.
We're fucking doing this. We're doing this for real. We're going to try to world first this shit. So tune in, twitch.tv/Wicked Gaming. Also check out Modern Warzone, Doug Dagnabbit, twitch.tv/Doug Dagnabbit. He's going to be streaming it as well. Nick might also be streaming it. It's twitch.tv/Private Square, PRV Square. I don't know if Kenny is going to be streaming, but
open 10 different tabs.
True. Open all of them. At some point, Ken is going to be tagging out. Chris is going to be tagging in. Chris, you better not be a fucking anchor around my neck because I will kick you immediately.
Shut the fuck up.
But yeah, stay tuned. We're going to be trying to do the world first for Die Machine for Cold War. So yeah, that's really all I got.
Lit. All right. Well, I have two. We got a couple 5-star reviews that I would like to read to the table. One of them comes from Kenny Delory. I don't know who that guy is. The best gaming podcast on the market right now. Couple of guys from Boston with a whole lot of love for the gaming community.
North Dakota.
Bob is a prophet who announces major industry moves before the movers even think of making the moves, and a once self-proclaimed 0.1% PUBG player. Chris is a social media guru who has grown their platform and community on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and farmersmeat.com. Dom is
Hold on, wait, say that sentence one more time.
Who has grown their platform community on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and even farmersmeat.com. For the people who can't understand what I'm saying, farmers meat. Farmers. Dom is a one-man graphic design Da Vinci, a D&D player like no other, a real homegrown Italian who sounds like he makes a great bolognese. Overall, these guys have created an amazing community, one definitely worth checking out. Thank you so much, Kenny. Last one is from Nora. I mean, Jesus Christ, have you seen these guys talk about brains and bronze? Jake Lucky's neck is so fucking big. This is crazy. What? No, I'm just kidding. All right. So she says, I mean, Jesus Christ, have you seen these guys talk about brains and bronze? Nothing quite like a perfect trio of internet dads, a very legitimate doctor, and Big Bird, for fuck's sake. I don't think I'll ever listen to another podcast in my life. IG_Nora, Aurora Nora _. There's the shout out.
She's plugging her fucking Instagram.
Sorry, I am the way I am. Love you guys. Thank you guys so much for that. And last but definitely not least, huge shout out to Jake. Thank you for coming on, and please check him out, Jake Sucky on Twitter, and check out everything Esports Talk is doing. They're doing great things in the industry. Jake's doing phenomenal stuff. Really good people doing some really good things, and it was a blast to kind of chop it up with you tonight. Hopefully it's not the last time. We'll definitely do this again in the future if you're up for it. But yeah, that's what I got. And if you guys want to check us out on socials, it is at Wicked Good Gaming on everything besides Twitter. It is at Wicked Good Games because we cannot fit the whole handle. If you want to look us up on YouTube, youtube.com/Wicked Good Gaming. If you're looking for the podcast, you don't know where to find the podcast. It's on every major podcast you can think of, podcast platform. We get Spotify, Apple, Google Play Store, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Radio.com, iHeartRadio, Ghana, and a bunch of other ones that I'm probably forgetting.
Amazon Music now, too.
Amazon Music now as well.
We're on every fucking platform. Also, big shout out to us. Not to toot my own horn, but toot, because we've reappeared, back like we never left.
Oh, true.
Back like we never fucking left. True. Number 83 on the United States of America podcast charts for gaming. Top 100, once again. Top 100 on the charts. Number 1 in your hearts. You know it.
Give me the Jake. Give me the
Give it to me.
All right, we got to do another Wicked Good Gaming Suck It real quick. Wicked Good Gaming Suck It to Podbean for losing a 32 spot on Spotify a couple of years ago. Suck it.
People don't forget. But yeah,
never forget.
That's all I got. That's all we got. Thank you, everyone who tuned in for the live show, all the new follows, all the new subs. If you're listening to this on the pre-recorded, we appreciate you just as much. And until next week, have a great weekend. Like Dom said, put some positivity into the world. We'll see you then.
Wow.